order. If you will rise, we will pledge the allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item is adoption of the agenda.
Romano adopts the agenda.
Support Van Sickle.
I have a motion by Commissioner Romano, supported by Commissioner Van Sickle. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next is approval of minutes dated June 10th, 2025. Need a motion?
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Wallace, supported by Commissioner Lucido. Any discussion on the meeting minutes? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next is public participation. This is the first of two public participations we will have. This is for agenda item only. Anyone from the public wish to speak, and please limit your remarks to 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Welcome.
Hello. Therese Robel. Do you need my address? Used to do that. No, we're good. Okay. I'm here to talk about the nominees or the people that have applied for the Veterans Affairs Commission. I'd like you to please consider keeping Manny Gonzales on in that position. He's been with us for a while now. We have a very cohesive group of people. We work well together, and we'd like to continue working well. I would also like to recommend Daniel Klik. We served together in the military for probably 20 years, if not longer, and I know how good he is at what he does, and he is a very good person. We would be lucky to have him on the commission. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? No, I said anyone else.
Oh, okay, well, I know none of you know me, but my name's Mike Salyers, 14206 La Cavera Drive, Sterling Heights, Michigan, 48313, just in case you know. Anyways, I also, as vice chair for the Veteran Service, would like to keep Manny. And I don't know the person that Therese put up, but if he's good, he's good. I haven't heard him, and we're not allowed to talk after they come up. So I would just like to make sure you guys vote for someone that's going to help us out and is ready to work to help veterans. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Anyone else wish to be heard under public participation? Hi, Joel.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair Hogg. Good afternoon, Chair Sabatini and Macomb County Commissioners. My name is Joel Rutherford. I live at Storrow Court on Warren, the Secretary of the Macomb County Veteran Services Committee. I wanted to speak today because it's, to me, imperative that we keep Manny Gonzales on our committee. Manny is one of these people that's shown his dedication, has shown his commitment, and has done everything that he could possibly do to make sure that we continue to serve veterans the best that we can in the county. We do all that we can, but we're also limited by the things that we're able to do because of the parameters that we have. There has to be an emergent need. And that's why I think at this point, making a change would really be detrimental to the community. So I hope that what you're able to do is, that we can find a unanimous consent when his name comes up. And as far as for new people, I just say this. You got a great group of people there that are applying. The one thing that I want to make sure of is they understand the commitment. It's not just the first and third Tuesday of every month that we meet. We have emergent needs that come up throughout the month. They have to be dealt with because this is to try to keep veterans from becoming homeless, from having their gas or electricity turned off. Because whether you're aware of it or not, we have veterans that are living on $1,000 a month or less in this county. It's sad, but that's the truth of things. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard under public participation? Seeing none, we will move on the agenda. Next item is appointment interviews, Veterans Affairs Commission, Board board appointment, 2 vacancies, 4-year terms to expire on July 31st, 2029. First on the agenda is Manny Gonzales.
Motion? Mr. Chairman, do we need a motion?
We need a motion to refer to full
Move
board.
this to full.
Receive and file, or
Yeah. Well, we have to it's motion to refer to full board, right? So I need a motion.
Yes, motion to move this to full board.
support Van Sickle.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gratz, supported by Commissioner Van Sickle. It's all yours, Manny.
Thank you, Mr. Sabatini, board members. My name is Manny Gonzales, retired U.S. Army medic, combat medic. So I was not in a hospital, I was not in the aid station. I was in the aid stations, not in the troop medical clinic. I didn't wear white. I wore combat boots and a uniform. I ate food with dirt on it, but that was because that was the only food I had at the time when I was on maneuvers. So my commitment to this board for the past 4 years have been, while I'm working, I used to work, I just retired from TACOM, is that I would use my vacation days to attend these meetings. The first and third Tuesday of every month, I had my leave in with the approval of my supervisor. And some years I did not get to take a vacation because I used it all attending these meetings. But that's what I signed up for. That was my commitment. That is my commitment to the board. So when I step up to do something, I give it 100%, which I have been the past 4 years. And mention that it's not just every Tuesday. Sometimes we do get emergencies. My phone is on 24/7 in case we have to approve a veteran needing assistance during the times that we're not meeting. So one more mention to my commitment to this board. I should be in Chicago now because my daughter needs my help. But I knew the importance of attending this meeting, and I explained that to my daughter, and she understood. So that shows you how much I'm on board with this, how much I love doing what I do. I pass out hundreds of my cards, so I'm on my second deck. Whenever I see a veteran, I talk, identify myself, I give him the card to make sure he contacts our office to get any benefits or a review of his service that we can help him with. So, and I meet a lot of them at Lowe's and Home Depot because, you know, that's where my secondary home is at. So that is my commitment to this job, and I hope that I express my commitment to this position well enough to get your vote for reappointment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Peter Henderson.
Good afternoon, Board.
Welcome.
Welcome home, fellow veterans, and thank you all for your service. I say that because for the first 20 years after discharge, all I heard was crickets. But now I never tire when somebody in the public thanks me for my service. You have my curriculum vitae in front of you, my DD 214, so you know my service to not only veterans, but to Macomb County. I've dealt with a lot of the agencies that deal with veterans in Macomb County, Veteran Services, Vet Center. You know, some of these agencies do real well. Veteran Services started off slow way back when, but then developed, and now we're one of the best service organizations in the county to serve veterans. The Vet Center can use a little help, but the important thing is helping veterans and getting to understand all the different benefits that are out there that don't seem to get the recognition. I know we have a veterans home, I think out in Chesterfield Township, but a lot of people don't understand that there's a veterans benefit pension for low-income veterans. If they served during a time of war, 90 days is what you needed to serve. And if you reach a certain income, you're entitled to a pension. So there should be no homeless veterans in Macomb County. But the word on that doesn't seem to get out as much as it should. And that would be one of the things I would focus on if appointed to this commission. Are there any questions?
Seeing none, I can thank you for your presentation.
And thank you.
Next is Daniel Klik. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, yes, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Klik, K-L-I-K, just like a light switch. Brief history, 25 years in International Guard, 11 years was active duty in one capacity or another, 4 deployments, 26 DDYs. Retired as a superintendent of security forces, currently active with 3 different veterans organizations. And I was no good at retirement, so I ended up working for the Department of Army at TACOM, where I'm currently employed also. But anyway, always been very active with veterans organizations, veterans folks, and I've always felt a compulsion to assist my boys and girls whenever I have an opportunity to. Hence my being here. Any questions at all?
Seeing
And with
none,
that-
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is Tammy Patton. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, how you guys? How's everyone? Thank you for having this, for us to do this, so thank you. I'm Tammy Patton, and I am here. I know you guys have like a lot of talent here and a lot of volunteerism. I find myself absolutely unique sitting amongst the crowd right now, listening to what Therese said about Manny is important in terms of the board cohesiveness. So being on the board previously myself, I understand that component of it. I'm an Army veteran. I'm a 100% disabled veteran. I might not have seen combat on the front line like many people might have, but I didn't go unscathed just because I did not. I don't feel like any veteran went unscathed. Most suffer with PTSD, and because of that, the symptom from that is alcohol and drug usage and suicide. I got involved mainly because I wasn't one that was like, oh, I'm a veteran. I never did it. My father was a Korean vet, and unfortunately, he wasn't even recognized till 2006, right before he died. So it wasn't something you spoke about. It's just something you did. So I didn't go around telling people I was a veteran. I didn't say I was in the Army. My kids knew some of the family, but it was not something that I was actually, at the time, proud of, just because some of the things that I went through the military that people choose not to speak about. So I ran into, on my campaign, on my trustee position, I ran into Pat Daniels. And I would say Pat Daniels actually started me on this. So he saw me, I had a knee replacement, and he was like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, he said, are you a veteran? I said, yes. He said, oh, I'm gonna get someone to call you. That is the first time that somebody has taken the time out to talk to me and say that they were gonna have someone call me. And he did just that. The Macomb County veterans called and they said, hey, Pat Daniels said we are supposed to reach out to you and you have to do this. And I was like, oh my God, that's like me, I do that. So that started me on this whole quest of making sure other veterans were taken care of. And then kind of later down the road, I'm always trying to see now where I can get involved. So I'm sorry, Joseph Fix, our lieutenant for Clinton Township Police Department, was like, hey, you're a vet. Why don't you come to the Veteran Treatment Court, you know, see if you like it, if you want to be a part of that. I was hooked the first day. So under me right now, I currently have 6 mentees. I've had 2 others that I keep in touch with. I completely understand the homelessness, the drug use, the testing, just everything that goes along with that. I am constantly trying to make sure I am up on my resources so that I can provide them the resources to get through whatever they're going through. I think that's truly important. So that Veteran Treatment Court was Clinton Townships, and from there, another woman came into 16th Circuit Court. They didn't have a woman veteran there, a mentor. So they called me and said, hey, we heard you're a mentor over at VTC for Clinton Township. Can you help? Because we have another woman. And I said, absolutely. We're an invisible population. I don't care how people look at it. I can wear my uniform, I can wear my shirt, and I walk past several people. No one tells me thank you for my service. But anybody that I see with a hat or shirt, I always tell them thank you for their service. I am invisible to people. I am a woman, and we are still fighting to be visible to the population. And it's a long fight. I have been talking with Chris Cawley, the director over at VA, just to have the Women's Center be the Women's Center like at Ann Arbor. And he's working on it, and we have a good relationship. I advocate for my veterans through him as well, to the point where he gave me a liaison because he got tired of me calling him, but that's not the point. The point is that when a veteran brings up concerns, I advocate, and I think I do a hell of a good job because I will contact whoever I need to contact, whether it's our Macomb County Vet Services who does a phenomenal job, or over at the Vet Center, I've had them come out and speak to our veterans about resources they have. I've had John James come out to our graduation and be the guest speaker. And from that, one of his people ended up being one of our mentors. I'm always trying to connect people. I'm always trying to bring resources to others because that is what's important to me. This isn't about me. This is about the veterans out there that don't get seen, that don't get the attention they need, and don't get the benefits they deserve. Because somewhere down the line, I didn't feel like I deserved benefits. I didn't deserve them because I didn't have a lost arm, or I didn't have, God forbid, cancer or anything like that. I didn't feel like I deserved that. But Pat Daniels said, no, you absolutely deserve it. You have been through hell, and you deserve your benefits. So when I meet other veterans now, whether I see their plate on the car, because I'm always paying attention, and like Manny said, Lowe's and Home Depot, I'm there a lot. So, whole lot, I love it. But I'm always looking, and I'm always talking to veterans. And I don't just pass my card. In fact, I don't even give my card. I give my personal number. But even that, I get their name and their number, and I ask them, is it okay to have somebody from Macomb County Services call you? And they go, absolutely. That was the follow through that Pat Daniels did for me, so I do it for others. I make sure somebody calls through, and generally it's the VSO, Daryl Johnson, because him and I have a great working relationship. So he calls them, he reaches out. If I give him an email, he'll email out. So I want to keep that connection, and I understand that I don't necessarily need this board to make that connection or keep this connection, but it is important to me to add one more layer to that. This isn't about a resume for me or any dings on my resume. This is all for my veterans. And with that, do you have any questions?
Seeing none, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Robert Carl Peterson, who is unable to attend because he's out of town. After that is Lance Pittman. Welcome.
To the esteemed board, thank you for having me here today. And wow, that's just an awesome group of people. And I don't envy you sitting on that side of the aisle because it seems like we've got some great people that want to serve our county. And I'd probably be the first one in line. I have served the Air Force for 20 years, and my family has been a part of the Air Force in general since World War II. My son, who is now serving, is fourth generation Air Force, and we're proud to have had the opportunity to wear the uniform. Serving on the Veterans Commission allows me to give back to the very group that helped to shape my life. My fellow brothers and sisters in uniform. And I believe my background, relationships, and leadership experience uniquely position me to make a meaningful and immediate impact. I've lived in Harrison Township on the base there at Selfridge. I've lived in Chesterfield Township. I live now in Shelby Township, and I went to church in Sterling Heights, Michigan. And so I think I bring a layer of diversity, knowing a little bit about some of the different areas of our county. I'm a veteran who understands that both the sacrifice and struggles of military service, especially the challenges of transitioning from the military to civilian life, which I did, and had an opportunity to work with some of the veteran services throughout the county to get me to the place that I am today, and believe that I'm not unique. We can give that same service to the veterans of our county. As a retired senior non-commissioned officer in the Air Force, I've walked the road, and I want to use my experiences to advocate for those who've served and now need support, access, and a voice at the table. So whether it's, and I've done this, whether it's helping a veteran with housing, navigate benefits, access to mental health care, or meaningful employment, I was the OFCCP monitor for McLaren Healthcare, and we made sure that our veterans were represented throughout McLaren Healthcare. I was also the previous president of the Healthcare Recruiters of Metro Detroit. And so with that, it gives me a lot of connections in the healthcare world. I'm at Trinity Health now, and the thing I love about Trinity Health is we offer a dedicated military and veterans health program, and we give our members or colleagues training to make sure that we're able to understand the culture of the military member. One of the greatest things for me was when our health system decided we're going to bring in the military flags of all of the veterans in the hospital. And so when they come into the facilities, they're able to see somebody that understands and sees what they have been through. I've had an opportunity to be a part of some of the Macomb County veterans hiring events with McLaren Healthcare, and have had a great time interacting with our veterans. In ministry, pastor a church, and so we oftentimes see people that come in, one veteran in particular, Eric, who was homeless, and we were able to help him to get employment, start school at Madonna University, and also obtain housing. So I teach customer service at Macomb Community College, and I think it's important that we make sure that we listen to our veterans, make sure that we're doing everything that we can. The gentleman talked about commitment. I'm committed to this cause. My daughter-in-law just transitioned from the military. She wanted to become a nurse, and so we helped her to research and find a good program for her to get into. And we also helped her to secure her veteran benefits because she hurt her back while she was in. Again, I'm committed to this cause and would love to be a part of this commission. Thank you so much. Are there any questions?
Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is Daniel Charles Ross. Welcome.
Commissioners. Please only think of me as Dan, because I only get the full Daniel if I'm in trouble with my wife or my mother. In my history, as you will have seen, I'm a creature of service. I spent 7 years active duty in the Army as a criminal investigator, most of it in long-duration undercover drug suppression in Germany. And I was 24 years in the Navy Reserve Public Affairs, so I have lots of experience with public contact, and retiring as a chief petty officer, I have lots of experience dealing with sailors in my charge and in others' charge to make sure they're fed and clothed and paid on time and have adequate housing and all the things that we want ourselves to have. I hope I can bring that experience and that enthusiasm for service to this commission. I know some of you because I am on alternate weeks. I'm a protective services officer downstairs, and I have an application in to Macomb County Sheriff's Marine Unit. So I saw the opportunity for the Veterans Affairs Commission, and it just spoke to me because I am a veteran. I feel for veterans' issues. I feel very strongly that veterans should be treated better, that homeless veterans should not exist, and that our brothers and sisters should be taken care of as they took care of us when they were in uniform. I'll be brief. One more thing I'd like to say is I don't know Mr. Gonzales, but he reviews well, so I would vote for him. Any questions of me?
Seeing none, thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Next is Richard Shaffer.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me. I'd also like to start by thanking all of you for serving. There's something that I learned recently at Chaplains Academy is that we shouldn't say thank you for your service because people serve in many ways. But we who served in the military, I was in the Army, communications, we served our country. So veterans, I think, actually appreciate that when you say serving versus service. But thanks Diane Lasky, who's part of the Veterans Navigator Program, for teaching us that. I'll try to be bold, be brief, and be out of your way so you can move on with your business. Stick to the script. I have a passion for service. I serve a church, serve my community, and I serve with the Metro Detroit Veterans Coalition, who puts on the Veterans Parade. I've been on that board for many years and provide the invocation every year. Having gotten to know Ms. Lasky from the Macomb County Health Department and the Veterans Navigator Program, while attending the Veterans Service or the Service Chaplains Academy at Macomb Community College, I was inspired to become more involved in my community. The VA system, while it has many things to help our veterans, I don't think they necessarily know where to go to find that support. So one of the things that Ms. Lasky and I talked about was putting together a website. And looking at yours, it does very well, but there are a lot of VSOs out there who don't know where to get their information posted so veterans can find it. So I launched a website called the Veterans Resource Team. It's vrtmi.com, where I'm working with VSOs. It's under construction, but I've talked to many VSOs trying to get their information so that we can have one source for veterans to go to. Ultimately, I'd like to work in the community with the folks at Selfridge to find more resources for veterans and their families. I think they all deserve all that we can provide to them for their willingness to die for their country. Some of my goals, if I was selected, to work with the community at large. Try to find donated or low-cost buildings that we could retrofit and provide shelter, housing, training, counseling, or just friendship. I'd like to provide a connection program for families and children of those that serve. Because we all know, we all moved around quite a bit when we were in the military, and sometimes the spouses and the youth just need extra help as well. And there's not a lot of that out there. So that's going to be a main focus. My daughter is a social worker, and she's agreed to do a kind of a telehealth thing through our website so that if an individual wants online counseling, afraid to come in, that'll be there too. Specific skills, I am a service disabled veteran, serving from 85 to 89 in Panama, leading up to the time of the invasion. I've run large organizations and teams and understand how to run those meetings using Robert's rules. I have great experience as a fundraiser. I have a 2-year certificate of studies in pastoral leadership and church planting. I recently completed the Macomb Community College Chaplains Academy, which is more, I thought it was religious, turned out to be more of a counseling / advocate type role. And that's kind of perfect in what we need to serve our brothers and sisters that served. I also plan on attending the CIT Academy and the Level 2 Chaplains Academy in the fall, bringing all this pastoral studies to the forefront in trying to serve our community. Now, I wasn't sure if I could ask questions or was the questions for you of me? I'm asked questions.
Really, we don't allow back and forth between
Okay.
the public and the commissioners.
Okay,
There's
when
good
I,
reason.
in the email received, it said questions. So if anybody has any questions of me?
The guy in the red shirt has indicated he could answer your questions.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much then,
Thank you.
if there's no other questions.
He's such a pain. last but not least, Joseph White. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you all for inviting me here today. My military background is I was in the U.S. Navy from 74 to 80. I was a data systems technician, computer technician, and was honorary discharge. The qualities I bring to this is I am a member of the Knights of Columbus, and as such, I am a past Grand Knight, and I had filled all their offices in what we call the third degree. And I am also in the fourth degree, that's our patriotic degree. And I am a past faithful navigator. And to refer to anybody that doesn't understand, that'd be like the president. So president of the council, president of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Other than that, I hope you select me. We have a lot of activities. One of our pillars for the fourth degree is helping the vets. So that is something we do if we're here helping or not. We're going to do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes the applicants. I would like to thank all on behalf of our chairman and all the commissioners for your interest in participating in this position. I believe it's on our full board agenda for Thursday, and that's when the decision will be made. So thank all of you once again. We have a motion and support to refer to full board. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Regional Transit Authority of Southeast Michigan update. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. My name is Ben Stupka. I'm the Executive Director of the Regional Transit Authority for Southeast Michigan. Thank you for the opportunity to give you a short update presentation as to what the RTA has been up to. Happy to answer any questions. I'll just go through a couple of general slides.
Ben, before you start, I need a motion to receive and file.
So moved. Support.
Motion by Commissioner Romano, supported by Commissioner Lucido. Proceed.
Thank you. So brief overview. The Regional Transit Authority of Southeast Michigan covers a 4-county area. So we cover all of Macomb, all of Washtenaw, all of Wayne, and all of Oakland counties, including the city of Detroit. We work with all the major transit providers, so SMART, DDOT in the city of Detroit, the Ride in Ann Arbor, the People Mover, the Q Line in downtown Detroit. We also work with all the community level providers. So whether that be the city of Sterling Heights or the city of Macomb or Richmond Lennox EMS or Star Transit, we work with those agencies. We provide funding and support for those agencies as well. So we have a pretty large charge and large geographic area that we cover to provide services within. So we were established by Public Act 387 in 2012. I described kind of what we do very generally. I'll describe in a little bit more detail, but just so this board is aware, we have a 10-member board, 9 voting members, 2 members from each county, 1 from the city of Detroit. Your members are John Moore, who's the city manager of Richmond, and Don Morandini, who's been with us for several years as a retired official from Macomb County. The final member, the 10th member, is appointed by the governor. They're the chair of the committee, but they don't vote. So we have a strong and stable board, but I want to remind this commission that you play a part in nominating the members to that board. So we ultimately answer your questions and answer to you and to your constituents as well. Our mission, create new and better ways to move and connect people. Southeast Michigan, where advances in transit create greater prosperity for all and values creativity, empathy, and opportunity. So these are the things that we use to really govern the actions that we take as the Regional Transit Authority. What do? We're transit subject matter experts. We're drivers and doers, and we're community connectors. So how does that, what do we do? What are the things that we are actually, the programs and initiatives that we put out in the community? We are the owners and operators of the Q Line streetcar in downtown Detroit. We have 2 express bus services that we've established, one connecting downtown Detroit to Ann Arbor, the other connecting downtown Detroit to the airport. We operate the Mobility for All program, which is a program that combines planning and funding for services for seniors and people with disabilities. We also operate the My Ride 2 service, 1-855 My Ride 2. If I leave you with nothing else, please know that My Ride 2 is a website and a call center that is available to everybody in the region. If you are a person with a disability, if you are a senior, if you're a veteran, if you're someone who needs any kind of transportation service, whether it be a nonprofit, a private provider, a public transit provider, you can get that information at MyRide2, myride2.com. So one thing taken away today, please direct people to that service. We've been growing every year. That is operated in partnership with an agency now called AgeWays, used to be called the Area Agency on Aging 1B. And we've had that partnership with them for quite some time. I'm going to back up one slide. A couple other formal roles that we have. We are what's called the designated recipient of federal and state funding. So all the federal and state transit funding that comes to any of the providers in the region comes through the RTA, and we sub-allocate that out to the transit providers. So we're very active in both talking to our federal legislators and our state legislators about funding, formula funding, and other funding opportunities for transit. That's not my music. It's okay, I'll take a soundtrack.
Billy, would you help Don?
One of the big things that we do is we do the Regional Master Transit Plan. So every year we update the regional plan. This is where all pieces of everything that we want in this region end up, and what directs our actions, whether it's developing a service in partnership with Ann Arbor, like the Ann Arbor D2A2 service, whether it's developing something like My Ride 2, whether it's providing more funding for services for seniors and people with disabilities. These are the places where we kind of look at the plan, we say, here's something we need to do, let's find a partner, let's see if we can work on this, find some funding, put this project together, and really build these types of programs. That is something we've updated. We changed a couple years ago to updating that every year, so it's a very fresh document in terms of both the initiatives we're undertaking, but some of the other successes and gaps in transit in the region. So a couple just recent and upcoming things that I want to update the commission on. Our Detroit to Ann Arbor Express and our DAX services, the Detroit to Ann Arbor Express has been operating for about 3 years. It continues to increase in ridership every month. So we usually see about a 30% increase kind of month over month. So last June, we're 30% ridership increase over the June before that, over the June before that, over the June before that. At some point, I think we'll hit a peak, but we haven't yet, thankfully. So it's been a very successful partnership. The DAX service, which connects downtown Detroit to the airport, we started that about a year ago. We're starting to see ridership increases on that as well. So that's been a very successful pilot. And I think this model, a Highway Express model, is something we need to really look at expanding to other counties. It's been very successful. I think we can take advantage of the highway system we have and the improvements MDOT's making for it to really improve the speed of transit. So it's been a good model for us. We've invested $11 million in community transit providers. So again, we've identified these are services that range from Richmond Lennox EMS to Sterling Heights to Macomb Community Action to Mount Clemens. It's about almost 30 different community providers that we invest in. We do that every 2 years. We just made our most recent investment last month. So we'll be working together with those communities, getting the funding out to them. And looking at doing some planning so we can do our next round of funding in about 2 years. We are launching a regional trip planning and mobility management platform. So this is pretty exciting. We developed a partnership with all the transit providers. So there will actually be one app and one way to pay for transit, mobile payment in the entire region. So we'll have a little bit more about this in about a month when we launch, but it is through partnership with a app called the Transit app. So it's very specific marketing. It's called the Transit app. That app is available for free for anybody who wants to use it, but it's basically like Spotify with ads. So a lot of other regions have found that creating a partnership with them, you basically buy the subscription for any. Oops, I'm sorry. I talk with my hands, as you can tell. Have the subscription for anybody who wants to use it in the entire region. So anybody will get the full loaded version of all the trip planning capabilities within the Transit app. It will allow for the integration of mobile payment. It'll allow for the integration of notifications, detours, and other things. So we're really moving in partnership with the transit providers to have one way to communicate about transit, real-time information, and paying for that trip. And then we're also developing a new program where we're going to be coordinating with local communities to look at pedestrian and bicycle access to transit stops. So it's one of the most popular things we hear about is not only shelters at stops and maintenance of those shelters, but how do people safely get to the shelter, whether it's crossing a busy road, riding their bike, having bike parking, scooter parking, bike sharing, park and ride, all those types of things. So we have been working with a couple of partners to bring some funding together, and we have enough funding to be able to do 4 or 5 pilot projects, we're hoping in 2026. And then enough funding for hopefully another 4 or 5 more for the next several years. So this is, again, an example of trying to put some funding together, identifying a major need, working with local communities to be able to make these small but really important investments at transit stops. And then finally, our tagline is get on board. So what could I ask of the commission? Participate in the regional master planning process. We have continual dialogue about that. We want to hear your feedback. We want to make sure that your values are reflected in that plan. We want to really make sure that we're having conversations with this commission and others about other areas of importance that would benefit from transit. Veterans Affairs, huge partner for transit and the need to be able to provide transit for veterans. Housing, workforce development, healthcare, what are the other areas where better transit can be supportive? And then work together to identify projects, big or small, that we can work on. That's where we found success. When we find a transit gap and just say, hey, can we work in partnership to just try and close this one small gap, develop a program, advance the ball on regional transit. So that's what I would ask of you, and I'm happy to take any questions.
I have one. On one of your slides, it indicated an $11 million investment.
Yeah.
What was that investment in?
Sure. So that is in vehicle replacements, operating support, and what we call mobility management that's spread across about 30 different providers throughout the region. Those providers are focused on seniors and people with disabilities. So again, I think of Sterling Heights Senior Center, Richmond Lennox EMS. There's programs in Oakland, Washtenaw, Wayne that are all similar programs. So it's spreading that investment out amongst all those types of providers.
Thank you. Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
I have a question about DAX. Is that at the center of like a transportation hub so that people can take transportation to it, or do they have to go there and park, or how does that work?
Yeah, great question. So the downtown stop is right across from the Book Cadillac. So from a transit perspective, it's right next to the Rosa Parks Transit Center, which is the transit hub in downtown Detroit. We are trying to develop, it's been a little tricky, we're trying to develop a park and ride option as well. Ultimately, because we're always thinking what could be next, ultimately I'd love to see if that's a service we could replicate to other areas, whether it be out in Macomb or Oakland. I think there's a real opportunity there. I know the folks at Richmond Lennox were piloting a service a couple years ago, so I think it's a model we could spread, but that's where it is right now. It's right across from the Book Cadillac on Washington, Michigan.
So people have to drag their bags across the street?
Oh, if they're at the Book Cadillac?
Well, if they're going to the airport, I assume they're going on a trip.
Yeah. So if they're so we have a combination of things. So we have folks who the bulk of people get dropped off by family, so they get dropped off right on the curb and pop out. That's the majority of it.
Oh.
And people make decisions, right? I mean, if you have a family of 6 and you're dragging all the stuff, you may not take DAX. If you're a single business traveler or someone with a smaller bag, you may take it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And the transportation app, is that available through a website and a web browser?
Yeah, so we will have some marketing about this, but anybody, you can pull out your phone and download the Transit app right now today. So you can use it and see what it looks like. It's just a limited version. It doesn't have all the trips in it. It doesn't cover kind of all the routes. It doesn't allow you to pay for your trips.
No, my phone screen is too small.
Okay. Yes, it also has a
I
web
use
version.
my large monitor on my PC.
Yeah, yep. So we will have it integrated into our website, and then we are also going to work to have it integrated into all the transit providers' websites. So that was one big thing that was really important here. This isn't just the RTA doing this. This is SMART. This is DDOT. This is the RIDE. So it's everybody's working on it together.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Goyke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you for the presentation. A few questions. RTA is the combination of bringing all the entities together for SMART, and then like trailways and all that stuff for the buses that expand out. The railroad, trying to tie that in if you're going to Chicago or Toronto and everything.
We're trying.
So and it's the big monkey in the room is. The funding is basically coming from the Department of Transportation for the operations, other than what's coming in off the fares. What percentage is this being subsidized by now? Fares brought in by all sources of all these ridership, totaling what, 15% and subsidized by 85%?
That's about right. And that's about the national average. National average for most bus systems is between 20 and 15%.
So all the cars and trucks on the road are paying for the people that are riding in the mass transit. So that's another devastation to our road funding because we're paying for this, correct?
I wouldn't put it that way, but
Well,
it's a small investment in a necessary service for people.
I'm not against the service. I see it's very just. I'm not. It's just at the point that I think funding should be coming from someplace else other than where all the funding. We're looking for every dollar and cents we can for the roads, and 85% of the money that should be going to the roads is going for this type of a funding.
So there are several other funding sources that are not just gas tax related. There's obviously local property tax dollars that go to support
That's when
this.
they do villages for SMART, yes.
Yeah, yep. So there's that. There's other funding sources that come in from the state that aren't fully gas tax. There's registration fees and other things. But I take your point. I'm not gonna get into a debate about it. But I would say it's a fairly typical construct for most other. There's nothing that's unique about how our funding is set up here in this region, other than we don't have some of the options other regions
There's still
have.
about 10% of the federal money coming in for the budget too for this too, isn't it?
10%
into your coffers for the mass transit.
I'm not sure I understand 10%.
The federal government, when they collect the money for, it's a highway use tax money. I think that 10% of that's dedicated for mass transit as well. That's coming into the coffers.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 10%. It depends on where. There's a formula that distributes it down to different regions. We don't get as much as we probably should because other regions have more transit than we do, and it's all driven by how much transit you put out on the street.
Okay.
So we're actually a donor region in terms of transit as well.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Howard.
Thanks, Chair. I think, you're trying to find an answer to a very complex problem. How do we move people effectively? And as a kid who grew up riding the buses around Detroit to go, what should be a 5-minute drive sometimes takes us 4 hours to go to the doctors because we're hopping on different buses. And so it's much better than what it used to be when I was a kid. But we're having a lot of issues with SMART. Not just in my community, but in other communities. The biggest concern is either the shelters, the lack thereof, or the upkeep. And that's been a huge issue where, a business owner, some business owners don't want a bus stop near their business because they feel like Smart's not upkeeping the shelter, and so that trash and that stuff blows into their business. And now, as a business owner, I have to pay to clean that up. And so we'd love to see an improvement in that area across the board. I think in some communities, like Mount Clemens, needs more shelters. And I think certain communities rely on mass transit more than others based on like geographics. I live in Warren, so I'm blessed that Warren is 20 minutes from everywhere. You know,
Yep.
I can hop on 696, 8 Mile, Mound, or Van Dyke and get to where I need to go. But I know that's not the case for all other communities. So we'd love to see Smart or whoever address that. I did have one question, and while I was on the website,
Hopefully the new website.
Sorry?
We just started, we got a new website launched like yesterday, so hopefully we're
Okay.
on that one. Yeah.
No, it was the My Ride 2 that you were
Yeah.
suggesting.
Yes.
And so I just went on there, I clicked through, found the city of Warren where I reside, and one of the options was on here, this Warren Transit program, and I just clicked on it. And are you the one that sets the eligibility standards for that, or would that be the municipality?
Yes, that is the city of Warren. So that's one of the interesting things that's very unique about our region is that we have these community providers. So in one sense is really wonderful because you have a localized service. And in another sense, a lot of the details of the service, the age, the time it's available is set by the municipalities. So it makes it really hard to communicate who can do what when. So they're all a little bit different.
Okay, so you guys don't really give them any guidelines for it. So just as an example, the issue I have with the one that I'm looking at Warren is service areas within the city of Warren center line, 1 mile outside of the city limits, north, east, and west. So it will go outside of Warren in every direction, even into Oakland County, but not into Wayne.
Yep.
That's set by the city of Warren?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Chair Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Hey, Ben.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Ben and I met a couple months ago, I believe. He reached out and I said, I haven't seen you in a while and I'd love for you to come to the board and give us an update. So obviously that's why he's here today. But I think it's really important for us to always meet with our partners, and I'm glad that you're here, Ben. Couple things, just based on the presentation. First of all, I think the mobile app is a huge thing, you know, connecting all of our partners here in the region. I think it's a win-win for everyone. You know, in my community in Macomb Township, you know, one of the biggest things that, as far as challenges go with transportation, is probably the community transit provider. You know, we contract out with Richmond Lennox, and it's been a great service for our community. And the more communities that I talk to, it seems like that's the biggest need in Macomb County. I know you've invested $11 million here based on your presentation. It's like a percentage of the RTA's budget. What are you investing in community transit?
So that and I'm not trying to be obfuscate. I can't say that word properly. All of our budget is really different projects. So I can tell you that $11 million, we don't even really count as part of our budget because we don't take anything from it. So that $11 million every 2 years goes directly to community providers. We take nothing from it. Any of the planning, management of the grants, anything we have to do, if they're our direct partner, we do not take any money. It goes directly to providers. So that's an ethic we have with almost all of the grants we have. So D2A2, DAX, Q-Line, all those things have their own funding sources that we support.
Okay, great. And then the last thing, I know you just recently updated your master plan.
Yes.
I have not seen it. If you could forward that on to the board, we'll circulate it with all the commissioners so they can see it, just based on what the RTA's plan is here going forward.
Yep.
Obviously, we deal with Smart and other providers, so curious, you being the authority, how that all works in.
Yep. And I will say because we do update it every year, we're looking to actually do a quick update. So hopefully in the fall we'll have another update. And what we're really going to focus on this time is trying to tie together in a little bit more detail efforts, and some of you may have participated in things like Smarter Mobility, which is kind of Smart's plan. DDOT's got something similar. The RIDE is something similar. So we're really going to work to tie those even more tightly together, so we get a really good sense of kind of like where is everybody moving, and then what do we need on top of that.
Great.
Yep.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is adopt compensation for Civil Service Commission. I need a motion to refer that to full board.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Wallace, supported by everybody over there. Commissioner Van Sickle. Welcome.
Good afternoon, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm here this afternoon from Corporation Counsel to present 4 different items related to insurance policies for the county.
Nope, we're on the one on the civil service first.
Oh, I jumped the gun.
You jumped the agenda.
Sorry.
That's
Got ahead of
okay. If you want to
myself.
speak on that, go ahead.
I would have nothing to say on that.
Okay, as our notes read, Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I'll speak to it, even though I'm not on the Civil Service Commission, but here we go. I noticed the increase in how we're starting to do this across the board. I will say that we did a similar increase for community mental health not too long ago because it was sitting at $35 for a very, very long time, and bumped that to the same amount of $75 as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there to, it sounds like we're all coming up to the same rate there. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And it was that rate for 25 years, which I found that very curious. Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Now I need a motion to take items B through E to full board.
So moved.
Support.
Now's your turn.
Now you're ready.
First one is
Yeah.
Nichols and Saph, Inc., Cybersecurity Risk Insurance Policy 26769. Nickel and Saph Fiduciary Liability Insurance 48398. Who comes up with these numbers?
Right.
Nichols and
Mouthful.
Saph Excess Workers' Compensation and Employers Liability Insurance 37670. Nichols and Saph Excessive Law Enforcement Liability 257,057.50. So Dana, you have them all.
Good afternoon again. Let's see. All 4 of these items are with Nickel and Saph. I'll start with 8B, which is the,
Cyber Risk Liability.
it's an extension. It's a 1-month extension. These renewals come up annually. This one is a 1-month extension because there was some delay in corrections officers getting their multi-factor authentication credentials implemented in time to renew the full policy. So Nickel and Saph was able to get us a 1-month extension.
Now, quickly on that one, who owns the accountability for the 1-month delay?
I don't really, I guess it would have to be a combination of IT and the Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
The application for the cyber risk renewal comes with a multi-factor MFA supplemental document that needs to be completed by our IT department, but sort of in conjunction with each of the county departments to make sure that each department is following the multi-factor authentication. It came to light that corrections officers don't have the ability, the way that the rest of county employees do, to accept the multi-factor authentication through an app or through their cell phone. So they were required, IT worked with the Sheriff's Department to get pass keys or fobs for them to use for their multi-factor authentication, and it just took it took a little bit longer to get it implemented than I think anybody anticipated.
So we don't expect to see this again next year.
No,
Okay, thank you.
no, we didn't see it last year. This was the first year since I've been doing this that it came up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want me to move along to the next one, or are there any
Absolutely.
other questions on that one?
The fiduciary liability insurance.
So this is an insurance policy that essentially protects all of the listed plans. It's the Macomb Retirees Healthcare Trust, Medical Benefits Trust, Board, Macomb Deferred Compensation Plan, and the Defined Contribution Plan, as well as the retirement system. Again, this is a renewal. It's an insurance policy that the county has had in place for quite some time, and this is just a one-year renewal. It renews annually.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next one, I believe, is the workers' compensation renewal.
Yep.
Okay. Again, this is an annual renewal, provides financial and medical benefits to employees who suffer work-related injuries, protects the county in the event of catastrophic losses. So this is, the county self-insures, but this is an excess policy that will cover anything beyond $600,000 for county employees, $750,000 for sheriff's employees. A little bit of a different risk involved with those differing category of employees. And then the last one is the law enforcement excess policy. The county has a package policy for general liability that has typically included a $10 million limit for law enforcement liability. The carrier for that policy was no longer willing to offer a $10 million limit, so they were only willing to offer a $5,000 limit, which apparently is a trend in law enforcement liability. So Nickel and Saph was able to secure a standalone policy for another $5 million that will bring us to the $10 million limit that we typically carry.
Did at first you say 5,000 or 5 million?
Oh, I'm sorry,
She
5
said
million.
5,000. You meant 5 million.
It's 5 million.
Okay, so now it's
5,000 wouldn't get us
10
very far.
collectively, right? Question, Chairman Sabatini.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Hi, Dina. How are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good. So, quick question in regards to the policies. So,
Sure.
were these bid out at all, or did we just use Nickel and Saph?
We use Nickel and Saph because we have a long-standing professional relationship with them. They know the peculiarities of the county's risk profile, our internal structure, the history of claims, the history of policies, and through that relationship, also I should say that Nickel and Saph presents the county policies to the marketplace, the insurance marketplace. So we work closely with Steve and Saph. So there is competition involved in the quoting process, but we don't bid out Nickel and Saph's services.
So they're the broker of record.
Correct.
So the first one, your fiduciary liability.
Yes.
So obviously this is across the board in regards to the plans and or funds that it's covering.
Yes.
The limit on this, the aggregate's $5 million on that policy specifically,
Yes.
and our premium's almost $50,000. Okay, so I know obviously the county is self-insured on a lot of different things.
Correct.
When I look at insurance, obviously, we get in litigation. Do we ever go back to our insurance companies on claims? Have you done that recently at all in the last 5 years?
With the renewals, the applications, there is a look back by by Nickel and Saph as well as the carriers that are quoting us. So we do provide that information and they do review our claims history.
Okay. So on the business side, it's of your opinion, and obviously this just got put in your lap as far as under corporation counsel handling all of our risk now across the board.
Yes.
So the investment of $50,000 for an aggregate of a $5 million policy is in our best interest to have this policy.
Yes, I believe that it is. It's been something that I've discussed with Nickel and Saph, the risks that are involved, as well as with other members of Corporation Council, that it's definitely something that we want to purchase to protect what is involved in that, and, you know, those particular funds in the retirement system.
Okay. And I would assume that opinion is of the other two, which are excess policies related to our employees.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Chair. Hi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm looking at item C, contract for fiduciary liability. I'm sorry. Item D, excess workers' compensation.
Yes.
Now, the county itself self-insures, is that correct?
Correct.
And what's the liability of the county?
The amount?
Yes.
600 for regular employees, 750,000 for sheriff's department.
Have we ever exceeded that? Where the insurance ponied up?
Oh, Mr. Shapka has
Mr. Belcher?
left. I'd have to think about that and maybe get back to the
You can get back to us.
back to the
I'm
board.
just
Let me
interested in-
let me think about that for. Has there been? Yes, there have been instances where insurance has picked up some excess. Yes,
Well, I'm
I
just
couldn't
looking-
give you specifics right here, right now, but I can give you more specifics.
Because
I just
we're
need to do a
talking
little
about workers' comp and
research.
employer liability. That's $370,000. That's a yearly contract, is that correct?
Correct.
So if you could get back to, I would appreciate.
Sure.
You know, you can go back a couple of 3 years, it's fine with me. Just, you know, how much-
Sure.
if we have exceeded it or not, and the amount that we have exceeded it by.
Sure, I can
I'm just
prepare
trying to keep it
something. Yeah,
balances out.
sure. I'll
Thank
do a
you.
little
That's all I
research.
have, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner
problem.
Van Sickle.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So on the cyber insurance, since you got the month extension,
Yes.
after the month and we meet all the requirements, are we going to go with a year then? Or are
Yes.
you going to go with like 11 months to get that in line with the others?
The renewal will be in line with the others. Typically, I come in July and present all of the renewals at one time. The way that the invoices came in this year and with the 1 month extension, it took things a little bit outside of the normal way that I process the renewals and the invoices. So there will be a few that come next month, but the cyber in particular that you're asking about will renew next year at the same time as all of the rest of the renewals.
And you don't have to go into details, but I understand about using an agent. I've done that in the past.
Yes.
And they do the bidding, essentially, the
Yes.
shopping. Are we changing any of the carriers under that this year?
On any of the law enforcement excess policy is a new carrier for us.
Okay, that's different.
As far as the other, I know our cyber risk is the same, it's Travelers. Our package policy, which you'll see next month, is Pennsylvania Manufacturers, and we've been with them for a long time. I don't think that there are any other changes other than the one law enforcement excess, which is new to the county.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Just
welcome.
curious.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Goike.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the presentation. Two of my questions were already answered, so we are down to the final one. On the carriers, you know, do you, as the Corporation Council, check to see if their ratings, are they A+, and are they companies in the United States of their past records? Is that what your job? Do you kind of overlook what Nickel and Saph on that when they do the policies?
I do. I couldn't tell you the exact ratings, but they are all A or better. And they are all based in the United States.
Okay, that helps out a lot. But, you know, maybe a little bit more clarification on the self-insurance. I know in the private industry I came from, I was with a group policy where we tried, working with self-insured on workman's comp as well. So, but we had to maintain X amount of money in that because, and then out of all the, whoever was all into that policy, the money came out of it for whatever claims there was.
Sure, we do that.
So, and the understanding now is this is an insurance above and beyond of self-insured, for the self-insured fund?
Correct.
Okay.
In the event of a catastrophic loss, there is that additional layer of coverage.
Okay, so up to so what is the point of how much does the county we go up to the 300,000 on per incident and stuff, and then our attorneys follow through with the care and stuff, and then go to the insurance company after? What's the
Correct.
cutoff? Okay,
Yes, 300,000 is the cutoff.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Zinner.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not sure if you covered this, maybe. But personally, some personal companies are have added in the last year or 2 years, coverage for people or families and dwellings, personal dwellings, in case of attacks or things like the trains that are carrying things they shouldn't be carrying and it's a disaster. There's a list of things. Has anything like that, is that affected, has that been brought up to the county at all for a county building that may be affected? I mean, people are paying more insurance now because of actions that have been happening across the country and other things.
Insurance rates continue to rise like every other cost is rising. There have been catastrophic claims nationwide, worldwide, that are affecting insurance rates. I think you're probably asking specifically, it sounds like, about our property insurance, which I will be presenting next month. I don't have the invoice yet for that, which is why it wasn't presented today. If memory serves me correct, I don't want to go on memory. Maybe ask me that question next month when I'm here.
All right, thank you
Ask
very
again.
much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
That was a good escape. Commissioner Sabatini.
She is an attorney.
I try.
Dan, just a quick question. Just in regards to the invoicing here.
Sure.
It looks like these policies are all effective July 1st.
Correct.
And payment on some of them is already past due.
So Nickel and Saph actually extends the payments to the carriers, and we reimburse Nickel and Saph.
Okay.
And because of our longstanding professional business relationship, they know that they know the process. They know that the board has to approve before invoices would be paid. So they are comfortable with the situation as they know it.
Okay. I just wanted to verify that because I know on some of them there's no retroactive date, so I just wanted to verify that. Thank you.
We're good.
See no further speakers. I have a motion to approve B through E to full board. Please vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next item is Resolution 2025-13775, a resolution to oppose the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services plan to implement a competitive procurement process for prepaid inpatient health plans. Motion to refer to full board.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Howard, supported by Commissioner Wallace. Commissioner Kraft, would you like to speak to this?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I figured since I was going to put one on the agenda, I'd give it the longest possible title that I could. And I appreciate you putting that on the agenda today. I just want to start with some language from the resolution. Whereas counties across Michigan have historically played a vital role in the governance, funding, and oversight of the public behavioral health system, and any change to that structure without meaningful county input undermines the principle of local governance. And whereas maintaining a publicly accountable and locally governed behavioral health system is essential to ensuring that individuals with mental health and substance use needs receive timely, appropriate, and high-quality care. Those two whereases are at the end of this resolution, but I find them to be the most important and the most pivotal of this entire resolution. And I wouldn't bring this in front of this board if it wasn't dire and important. Harold knows, Commissioner Haw knows, and I know how we feel about resolutions. But we have done everything to this point, and I thank Chair Sabatini and Executive Hackle for putting a letter together at the beginning of June. And we've been fighting this fight since last year, even when we started to have contract conversations in September for an October 1 contract. This has been going on for a long time. It almost feels like the Twilight Zone because you have a Democratic administration that wants to privatize and you have a Republican commissioner who wants to oppose that privatization. But I think it speaks to Commissioner Hawes' words yesterday of my passion towards CMH. It stems from when I started on this board 8 years ago. 4 months in, Kathy Toko left and we needed a commissioner. Everybody stepped back and I was the only one standing there. There's some of us that run towards the fire and some of us that run away from the fire. I guess I was running towards it that day because when I got there, we were in shambles. We were bleeding chips. We were losing money left and right. We were in dire straits. Ever since that point, we changed the CEO. We brought in an entire CFO team. We hired an outside firm, which may be something we have to do here at the county, but it has worked fantastically. Ever since that time, we have only progressed and gotten stronger as a CMH. We're here, we're accessible. We are here in Macomb. Even when you call the 988 crisis hotline, which is a national hotline, if you are physically located in Macomb when you call, you will get a Macomb person. That doesn't happen everywhere else. That happens here because it's what we've done as a board, what our CEO, Tracy Smith, has done, who's sat here this entire time waiting for this presentation to help me if there's any specific questions. But this is important. This is important to us as Macomb, and it is county-centered. I know we talk all the time about doing these resolutions for state whatevers. This directly impacts us, and it impacts us locally, too, as commissioners. Who gets to be on the board? Who doesn't get to be on the board? Commissioner Wallace and I probably don't exist anymore if this goes through. It could end up being a regional entity of Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb. And we just saw with the RTA what that count comes to for the ratios on those boards, and we end up losing. Right now we're winning, and our people are winning because we're doing a great job. And I will stand on that till the day I die because we've done great work, and we've come from the ashes, and we are where we are. So that's what this resolution says. We've had, like I said, the letter from the county executive, and we have our team too at CMH that's meeting with every Macomb County legislator, senators, representatives, Congress members to say, hey, this is how this is going to affect us. In the past, this was tried legislatively. It never made it through. Even Senator Shirkey, who was the Senate Majority Leader, couldn't even get it through his own chamber. This has been tried and failed several times in this state. Now they're trying to do an end around to the legislature and go through the department and make it a rule. So that's why I'm coming to you today with this resolution. Commissioner Sabatini, Chair Sabatini, and County Executive Hackle wrote that letter, and we are going one by one through every Macomb County legislator to oppose this and hopefully try to get Director Hertel and the governor to stop this from becoming reality. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for your efforts. Commissioner Howard.
Just to add to what Commissioner Kraft has said, just reading from the document, talking about such as privatization could breaking long-standing relationships, like you said. But the important part in that paragraph is person-centered. When we privatize mental health care, you detach the person-centered effort. It becomes profit-centered. And I spoke a little bit yesterday about my sister and my mom, and seeing this go private will absolutely crush and harm our community. And outside of Macomb Community Action, Macomb Community Mental Health has been the most, like the service that I've used the most or referred most people to. I know when we get our monthly updates, there's like never calls from my district. That's because they call me and I get them to Macomb Community Mental Health or I get them to Macomb Community Action. And just off of like the 988 number, knowing that you don't have to worry about it's not national for us. That is a local number for us that is literally saving lives. And in Macomb County, unfortunately, we have had recent occurrence of this where somebody should have called the number and did not. And so my fear is that that number would increase if we lose control over how we can impact our community. And so like I got calls from legislators asking me about this, like what's going on here? I'm like, I don't know, call Phil. And I immediately got off the phone and called them, and they like state legislators didn't even know what was going on in regards to this. And I just want to give kudos to Commissioner Kraft because I called him, he answered I think it was a Sunday night or whatever, some weird time, and he answered in detail. And I was able to go back to legislators that called me with information that they did not have based on his knowledge and expertise. And so I'm in full agreements with Commissioner Kraft. One question, though, is I know this is your resolution. I'd love to be added to it, or just wondering why is it just one commissioner? Because like you addressed, it's bizarre, as a Republican commissioner advocating against privatization, I think it's important that our community understands, like, our board really operates bipartisan, and this is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is a people-centered issue. I think, I'd like to be on there with you to emphasize that point.
Of course. Yeah, I think the only, Chair Howe, if you don't mind me stepping in, I think the only reason my name was the only one on there is just because I introduced it. So if there are any commissioners that would like to add their names to it, please see Adriana or myself or Chair Sabatini.
I think it's better to ask for those that don't want to do it to come see you. I thought Michael was going to ask you to attend the Trump rallies, but he let that.
I'm too busy working.
Thank you. Commissioner Wallace.
Thanks. Perfect. Yeah. Lost train of thought with that one. But completely agree with everything that Phil said and or Commissioner Kraft and Commissioner Howard. This is so important. I can't even put the correct words to it. Like Commissioner Kraft said, right now you call the number, you get someone local. If you have the courage to call that number, most likely you don't have days to wait for someone to get back to you. You need someone to help you immediately. And this would take that away. So this is risking the lives of our community members, our neighbors, our friends, and our family that we say we want to help and protect. So I back this 100%. Of course, I want my name added, like everyone else. I think all 13 names will be on this by the time it's done. But once this is approved by our board, it will be used by Michigan Association of Counties to write up their own resolution, and it will be sent to the National Association of Counties to get support from them as well. So I just urge, which I don't think I need to urge, but that we pass this at full board so we can get this to the other associations to get backed, and because we need it and our community needs it. So thank you, Chair.
Chair Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. I think a lot of commissioners don't realize the amount of time and effort and everything that Commissioner Kraft does for CMH. It's truly remarkable. Everything with this issue specifically, when he told me about it, and I actually happened to be in Mackinac with the county executive, and we did you hear about this? Did you hear? And literally between the two of us, we were on this, and we got a letter to the state ASAP. And I know our CEO, Tracy's in the crowd there. And Chair, if we could recognize her, if she'd like to say a few words, if that is possible. But between Commissioner Wallace and Commissioner Kraft and what they're currently doing, between all the seminars and meetings and everything that they're doing with legislators, with the state with this specific issue, people don't realize how big it is. And I'm surprised it hasn't gotten as much press as it should. Quite honestly, here locally, but this is huge for Macomb County, and I just wanted to share that with all of you, to reach out to your locals and make them aware of it, because it is a huge, huge issue for Macomb County. So, Chair, I know Tracy's here, if she'd like to just add any thing to the discussion, that would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you. That would be my only add. Phil, of course, did an outstanding job of representing, and all your other comments I'm 1,000% also in agreement with. So I just want to express our deepest appreciation for your support and continued battle that we will not give up until we win the best for the people that we serve.
Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Are we voting yes or are we voting no?
Oh, yes.
Just want to make
We're
sure
gonna
it's
send the
clear.
letter-
you
yeah,
know,
we
that
wanna
goes-
send the letter out.
It's one of those things. Make sure that wording's right.
Motion passes 13 to 0.
Could I have that vote total again?
13 to 0.
Thank you. Next item, I will take A and B together to refer to proclamations to full board.
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Van Sickle. I was waiting for Ken over there.
I'm too
Support
slow.
by Commissioner Lucido. First is a proclamation congratulating the Armada Trap Team for winning the 2025 state championship, and a proclamation congratulating the Richmond Blue Devils athletic girls baseball team for winning the 2025 Michigan High School Division II softball championship. Commissioner Goike, would you wish to speak to either one of these?
Yes.
Well, you can tell us what a trap team does.
Commissioner Howard would be able to tell you as well. It's a shooting sport. Shooting clays, clay pigeons and stuff. We've most of the shooting sports started out through PAL camp in Macomb, and then it went on through 4-H, and then from 4-H it went right into a regular high school event where most of the counties are going back to the 50s and 60s where shooting was taught in school for safety purposes. And we were fortunate enough that we have a very good, leaders to teach and do that program, and they've been very successful. So I'm very proud of that. And then the girls, I think everybody knows they're, with the softball, very proud. Richmond usually wins state championships in the wrestling, so this is something different. They're, very well known for that program. So very proud for us here in Macomb that we have two outstanding things again. So thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 11 to 0.
It's not me. The next item is Finance, Audit, and Budget Committee. It's a great pleasure. I turn the chairmanship over to Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you, Chair. Nicole, you've been so patient. We appreciate it for your one item. Let's go. We have item A, Todd Winslow Buick GMC of Westland 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 pickup, Macomb Auto Theft Squad mats in the amount of $48,994. I'll take a motion to recommend that to full board.
So moved.
Support.
Motion from Van Sickle, support from Haw. Nicole, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Long time no see. Thank you for having me. I just have one vehicle today. It is for the Macomb Auto Theft Squad for the Sheriff's Office. It is a GMC Sierra 1500 pickup. It's just going to be in addition to their fleet, and then they're going to rotate one of the older, higher mileage ones out to go to auction. They have grant funding, so that money's going to cover that for the $48,994.
Thank you, Nicole. Commissioner Haw.
Thank you, Chair. Nicole, if I recall correctly, a little while ago, you came in and asked for a massive vehicle purchase
Last month. Mhm.
And I asked the question.
I was informed that they told you that it was the last, that this is all of them. Well, this was supposed to be on there.
Remember that?
I wasn't actually here. Vicky did it, but she
they told
did
you
tell
they
me.
said it.
Yeah, she did tell me.
Okay, good.
So this was actually supposed to be done prior to, but because we have to go with the state contract purchases, we had to wait for that dealership to provide us with a quote, and a quote that would be sufficient for what their needs are at the time. So this came in literally like the Tuesday after my deadline was Friday. So we had to wait a month.
Okay, we have a statement in golf called last. Is this it?
No.
No.
It's honesty. It's honesty.
Wow.
I have one more for the undercover guys. We're just trying to figure out if we're gonna go, what vehicle we're gonna go with, but I should be able to narrow that down and be here for the August meeting.
Thank you.
And then last,
You're gonna
And-
say that.
I can add another last. There's still a few months left.
That's all I have, Chair. I don't want to hear.
Commissioner, you better stop. We're gonna have a whole other fleet of cars
It
after
just
last
keeps
month, too.
growing. Thank you.
Commissioner Zinner.
If we have a vehicle for the undercover guide, should we be saying that in public when she does it? Now that we said that?
That
was
is
it?
for undercover guys.
That's what she said?
I don't think anybody here cares.
We're not the problem.
Who's the problem?
The undercover
public?
officer. The undercover crew.
Not the other, the reason we need an undercover. I'm just asking a question.
Oh, okay.
Commissioner,
Nicole, next
I'll
time
have
don't
that
say undercover.
conversation with Chair Sabatini and Nicole going forward.
Understood.
I'm just saying.
Commissioner, I understand your concern. I understand where you're coming
For
from.
people.
Okay.
All right, seeing no other speakers, and it's 4:31, it's time for Nicole to go home. Please vote.
Nicole's got to go.
She's been here an hour and a half.
Yeah, she's entitled. She's been here a long time.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next is item 13. I'll take a motion to receive and file items A, B, and C.
Support.
Support.
Somebody make a motion.
Motion from Commissioner Romano, support from Commissioner Zinner. Dr. Amboyer, did you wish to speak on the CIAC
Any
item?
questions relative to the Central Intake and Assessment Center?
He's fine. Are there any questions on these items? Okay, seeing none, please vote. Where'd he go?
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Next is item 14, public participation. Anybody from the public wishing to speak, you have 3 minutes to speak on anything you wish. Anybody from the public? All right, we'll close public participation. We'll move on to commissioners' comments. Any commissioners? Commissioner Howard.
I just want to make sure we passed, I should have asked this earlier, but Proclamation 10B, just want to make sure we actually have it labeled correctly. It says the Richmond Blue Devils Athletic Girls Baseball Team, and it should be their softball team. Some sports are still called baseball, but I looked it up. It is actually their softball team. So I don't know if we can make sure that, I didn't know if we needed to do that during the meeting.
We'll
if that was
publicly
just
shame
administrative.
Commissioner Goyke and then we'll change it. Is that good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Van Sickle.
Going back to the resolution to the state about mental health, I would like us to have a press release already to publish Thursday when we close this meeting and approve that resolution, so that we can get it out. Maybe even alert Jamie Cook from Macomb Daily to be in attendance so that we can get press on this.
Thank you, Commissioner. Great idea.
The second thing is this morning, I attended the change of command at TACOM, the Tank Automotive Command down in Warren. It was a great ceremony. Major General Layler, who was the commander of the base, there's not too many major generals in the Army. And we were, I'll say, privileged to have one of them leading TACOM. He did a great job, and he's now off to Germany. The new commander is General Bain, and she apparently has done a great job in her career so far, and we're looking forward to her leading TACOM to even better heights. But anyway, TACOM is a great facility along with Selfridge. We are fortunate to have two such good military bases in the area. They bring a lot of economic prosperity to the area and also safety, national safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Seeing none, I get to turn this back over to Chair Haw.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I need a motion to go into closed session.
Motion to go to closed session.
Motion by Commissioner Gratz, supported by Commissioner Romano, or Commissioner Zinner.
We'll give it to her.
You just kind of sounded like that. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Romano, supported by Commissioner Lucido. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Oh, I didn't see her come back.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next is item B, settlement agreement, United States District Court case number 19-CV11887. Need a motion to full board.
Chair, I'll make the motion. Chair, I'll make the motion to the settlement agreement for the United States District Court case number 19-CV-11887 with claims administrator contract and inter-county government cost sharing agreement.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Lucido, supported by Commissioner Howard. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Romano, supported by Commissioner Howard to adjourn. Please vote. We are adjourned.